Welcome, everyone, and welcome to Progressive Discussions, Hard-Hitting Truth. These shows are broadcasts by Mega Life 21, and it's a shame that my very good buddy Jeff Zambello could not make it tonight, but the show must go on. Ronnie S. has just joined us. Ronnie S., originally from New York City, now residing in the Clearwater, Tampa, Florida suburb. How are you this evening, Ronnie S.? No, the only alcohol I have is for Fandango Friday tomorrow night. I don't have anything. No wine, no beer, no nothing. I just have what I intend on bringing to Fandango Friday tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time over on Ronald J. Tirio's page. I want to start off with 7 lucky bells. This is a serious show. First, I want to discuss the main topic of the show, which is the social media corporate fascist censorship under the disguise of community standards. When does it end? It could be Facebook. It could be Twitter. Because I'm in Twitter prison for 7 days for the first time, because Twitter has a community standards. It could be YouTube, because I am suspended from leaving any comments under any videos. I am suspended from going live on Facebook. Why? Because these social media CEOs are obsessive about not offending anyone. They want all of us to walk on eggshells. They're so afraid of offending someone. So if someone is being a troll or a jerk or hateful or an asshole, Or let's just say someone happens to be wrong about what they're saying, and you get into a dispute with them, and you tell them what they really are. Well, then they turn around and whine and cry like babies to the company, and you get suspended because of community standards. Now, mind you, social media bombards us with nonstop spam advertisement constantly. And many of us put a lot of work into our social media accounts. It could be in the form of pages, groups, and we should not have to walk on eggshells. Ronnie S., if you ever need another panel member for this, let me know. They're trying to shut us up, James. Yes, the neoliberals are trying to shut us up. I think I can get you on if you want to go on. But I have certain topics I need to cover. Okay, let's see. I don't want the public to have this. Let's see. Now, if I go to private chat, that means the viewers can see that, right? It says here, chat privately with your guests. Yeah, but then once it's there, then all the trolls can see it. Let me figure something out here. Okay. Yeah, so maybe I should. What's your name on Facebook? Oh, okay. In the future. All right, no problem. So, but then what you're doing now is fine because I get to read your comments. So I'm suspended all over just because someone got offended, and instead of sucking it up and just blocking me or ignoring me or disregarding what I said or even challenging me in a debate, instead of doing that, they cry like babies to the company, and the company really is obsessive with never offending anyone. And I'm trying to understand why. And now it's not just Facebook, so I can't pick on Zuckerberg all the time. It's now Twitter. It's now YouTube. I have Tumblr, but nothing's happened on Tumblr yet. But there's always a first time. So, yeah, instead of dealing with it and respecting everyone's First Amendment right to freedom of speech, as long as you're not inciting racial hatred, bigotry, violence, threatening people, as long as you're not doing that, you have a right to disagree with someone and to voice your opinion. You have a right to be heard in an open exchange of ideas and opinions. As an independent, critical, free thinker, you do have that right. But now, if someone doesn't like what you're saying, even though what you're saying is true, example, there are these relationship and dating coaches now on YouTube, experts. Some of them are young and have never experienced life. Some of them are older and pretty wise, like Coach Greg Adams, okay, or the other guy, the Red Pill Men's Health. His name is Greg also. But now these young females are becoming love and relationship coaches. So what I said was, and they're charging men for their advice. I said, do you honestly think that according to your title, which is one of it is 7 secrets that women do not want men to know on how to succeed with women. The other one is 10 secrets that women don't tell men. Do you honestly think that women are willing to give up all these secrets and lose the power that they have over men just because men chase them and because of they have a higher sex drive, so men are always pursuing them and validating them, because women love validation. They love attention, which is validation. So do you think women honestly are going to tell men the truth and give up the power that they have? I don't think so. So I said that. I typed it, and all of a sudden now I violated YouTube's community standards, and I can't post for a while, a little while, whatever it is, on any video. Ronnie, yes, crybabies out there. I like the young female coaches. Well, you may like to look at them because they're usually good looking, but I would take advice from Coach Craig Adams, an older man who is self-made, successful, and knows all the tricks that women have, the power that they have, and how they exploit men. And the only reason why they exploit men is because men are constantly validating them and giving them attention. That's so. Otherwise, women would not have any power. Men have a stronger sex drive because of their testosterone level, and therefore men pursue them. But women are not going to give you all the secrets on how to master them, so they're charging guys this. So anyway, you can't utilize your First Amendment right and voice your opinion. You can't debate with anyone because why? You have to be afraid of offending someone. You have to walk on eggshells. So this is corporate fascism. This is censorship. And where does censorship end? It's like with racism, bigotry. Where does it end? First, they don't like this group. Then they decide they don't like that group. Then that group. Then that group. And before you know it, they don't like your type. And same thing with censorship. You don't like it, move on to another conversation thread or change the channel. Don't watch the show. Don't read the article. It's really frustrating when you can't give your honest opinion about something, and you can't debate someone who might be a troll, who might be an asshole or a jerk, who might just be wrong, and you have the proof to show them where they're wrong. Your hands are tied. You can't do anything because of this ridiculous trend known as community standards, and now they all have it. But at the same time, they bombard us with nonstop advertisements, spam. We're constantly bombarded. Now, yeah, well, Apollonia Ponte is extremely annoying, but she's good looking. She's a little too stuck on herself. She's a little too confident in her opinion, and she tends to bring up a man's established man in his career. He should be established. Yeah, why does a man have to be the one with the money? Or why does a man have to be the one to always make the first move and do everything and pay for everything? Those are what they call beta chimpanzees, beta men. These so-called chivalrous gentleman providers that went out with the Middle Ages, that whole Sir Walter Raleigh nonsense where he threw his cape over a muddy puddle so the woman could walk over it. That's old-fashioned. That's before society that we know of today existed. That was a totally different world. There were no dating apps, there were no dating websites, there were no dance clubs and bars, and there was no feminism. There was no, you know, people were introduced to their future girlfriends and boyfriends and spouses. Everyone in town knew each other. The options were very limited back then. So of course you had all these chivalrous white knight gentlemanly suitors. You know, I mean, there were only so many women around, and all these guys had to practically audition to win her interests and her attention. That's all old hat. Now we have equality. Now, because of feminism, they've gained too much power. It's beyond the right to vote, and it's beyond earning equal pay for equal work, which is great if they do equal work. Now they want power because they don't like men. The feminist movement is deep down, they're really lesbians and they really hate men. So they have an agenda. And the neoliberal politicians passed the laws. And now if you work in an office, you can't compliment an attractive coworker. You can't ask her out to lunch or to dinner. You know, right away she starts crying sexual harassment, and then you get fired, and all this malarkey. He said, she said. So it's a different world nowadays. But speaking of feminism, of course, the desperate Elizabeth Warren, who is way down in campaign contributions. She's down in the polls. She used very petty, desperate tactics like lying about her supposed close friend Bernie Sanders, and even her own campaign people told her to abandon the whole accusation, and she decided to abandon it. But the American media sure is not abandoning this. And in 2016, she turned her back on her close friend Bernie Sanders to nominate Hillary Clinton. And now she stabbed Bernie Sanders in the back with this blatant lie. And she played the poor, pathetic, victimized woman, the gender card. She played the gender card. And the Coven of Witches on the show called The View, they were all savagely, like a bunch of hyenas on a carcass, savagely bashing Bernie Sanders, calling Bernie Sanders a misogynist, based on the Elizabeth Warren lie. Meanwhile, these women have hit the wall a long time ago. They're fat. They have tons of cosmetics on. They have gobs of makeup on. They have hit the wall, which means as women, their sexual market value is way down compared to a female in her early 20s, late teens, early 20s. And they were just savagely bashing Bernie Sanders, unfairly calling him a misogynist. And this is The View, like Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, the fat pig daughter of the late senator from Arizona, John McCain. John McCain's big fat tub of lard daughter. You know, it's been all downhill since they got the right to vote. Well, they have too much power now because of the pandering neoliberal politicians. Elizabeth Warren has a beer cave. Well, I know Pete Buttigieg, I have a problem with his last name, Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg has the wine cave, where all of his elitist fat cat campaign contributors go, and it's exclusive. It's a private club, and and they give large amounts of money to Pete Buttigieg. And guess what? When the fat cats give you very high amounts of campaign contributions, you owe them big favors if you get elected. Yes, that's how it works. Where Bernie Sanders, he was funny, but he really stuck it to them during the debate, saying that he doesn't take any campaign contributions from the wealthy, from corporations. They're all average people that donate, on average, $18 a person. And he stuck it to Pete Buttigieg and to Joe Biden. That's right. Touchy-feely Uncle Joe Biden. The one that likes to inhale young females from behind. Yes, Elizabeth Warren should have a beer cave. To me, she is gooseneck Elizabeth Warren, the fake, phony Native American, the fake Pocahontas. She has a long, bobbing gooseneck, like that science project. Remember that bird that used to dip its beak in the water and go up and down? Yeah, that's Elizabeth Warren. If she is Native American, I am next in line to be Pope at the Vatican, which is meant to be a joke. Speaking of jokes, little bells and whistles for Ronnie S. But Mayor Pete Buttigieg, you're damn right. Yeah, the mayor of South Bend, Bend over, Indiana. Get it? South Bend over, Indiana. Hey, that was funny. Bells and whistles. He was very rude to some African Americans that approached him in South Bend, saying that I don't need your vote. I don't care what you like and what you don't like. He's an elitist. All moderate, centrist, corporatist Democrats are actually right-wing capitalist wolves in phony progressive sheep's clothing. They're in disguise. Do not trust them. They're like a bunch of sleazy car dealers or late night infomercials. So this is what's going on with the feminist movement. They have power because politicians and, of course, the sycophant, pandering, suck-up American media won't tell them the truth about who they are. They won't tell the truth to any politician. They're all sycophants. And they have their power because no one says no to them. It's just like modern-day parenting. Parents do not know how to say no to their children and be the alpha and put their foot down. Now, speaking of alpha men versus beta men, Bernie Sanders. Alpha men, there are organizations called MGTOW, Men Going Their Own Way, or the Red Pill Lifestyle, where instead of men putting up and tolerating all the demands of today's power-obsessed feminist women, instead of dealing with all the gold diggers and the parasitic moochers, they have decided to go their own way and spend their money on themselves and do what's positive for their lives, like find out what your passion is in life, find out what your hobbies and interests are, learn everything you can about what you enjoy doing, become a master at what you enjoy, and just get on with your life. Keep on keeping on, and just do your hobbies, do your interests, spend time with your male friends that are loyal to you, that you get along with. Go out with the guys. Uh, Take a vacation by yourself. Go to a all-inclusive resort by yourself. Go out to a restaurant by yourself. Yeah, I mean, in New York City, this statistics show the average date in Manhattan is like almost $240, 230 some odd dollars. You believe that? I mean, this is if you're with some blood-sucking parasitic woman that insists that you be a chivalrous gentleman and pay for everything. Meanwhile, there's no guarantee that there will be any return on your investment at the end of the day. Chances are you might get a peck on the cheek if you're lucky. Yeah, almost $240 in Manhattan. Otherwise, $100, $150. Uh, if the girl's not a gold digger, if she's a nice woman, it'll cost $50, everything combined. If you're an educated consumer like yours truly, you would take the girl. If you don't know her, you would go to a cafe and get to know each other. Uh, Take her to a good buffet, like I go to, the best bang for the buck. Take her to a good buffet. There are plenty family-owned establishments, small restaurants where you don't have to pay a lot of money. Um, I know of a wonderful Mexican restaurant that's really has a beautiful, fancy atmosphere. They have wonderful frozen margaritas. They have great food. They have mariachi bands, and you might end up with a $40 bill, maybe a little bit less. There's no need to be screwed over with a person you don't know. They're not your steady, serious girlfriend. When you call them and their voicemail picks up, lots of times these dinner and drink whores won't even return your voicemail, which means they're dinner and drink whores. So these men are living the red pill lifestyle. They're smart. They're going their own way. And if someone nice happens to come along and they meet them, then so be it. If not, they just continue enjoying the peace of mind and serenity with no one telling them what to do, no one telling them that they have to give up their friends and their hobbies and their interests and worship them because they happen to be female and they happen to think they're better than us, which they're not. So you have peace and quiet. You come and go as you please. You do your hobbies. You save a hell of a lot of money, and you have standards. You know, as men, you have a right to interview the women also before deciding whether or not you want to date them. You know, and you don't have to be a sucker. You don't have to fall for their crap. Um, so, speaking of the dating scene, over on an app called Tinder, there are these women who have hit the wall. Their sexual market value has gone way down. The eggs in their ovaries are shriveling up like prunes, like those oil-cured olives, shriveling up. They have less and less eggs. They could be 35 years old and over. Lots of times they're overweight. In this case, this woman was obese. And they have children. They have baggage. They have young children by another man. that maybe doesn't send them child support, doesn't see the kids, thanks to her. He doesn't get involved with his own kids. So what happens? She tries to stick you with the responsibility of someone else's kids. So these women have a low sexual market value. They're not 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, not even 25 anymore. They're over 35, and they're delusional, and they try to act like they're 21 years old. This one woman was obese, and she's demanding that she wants to be courted. She wants, she says, uh, something about going to a man's house and watching Netflix is not a date. Going for coffee is not a date. A lot of these women say no coffee dates. No coffee. Oh, no coffee? Well, what do you have in mind? Oh, fine dining and fine wine they want. Well, what return does the man have on his investment? Is he going to get screwed with the bill? Is he going to see you again for a second date? Is he going to get sex? These coaches say, hey, come to my place. We'll order Chinese takeout, watch Netflix, and we'll chat, get to know each other. Or, go somewhere humble. Go to a family-owned restaurant. Ronnie S. says, I got to run, James. Maybe I'll catch you on Fandango Friday tomorrow. No problem, Ronnie S. Nice having you. So this is the situation. Yeah, this obese woman was just very demanding. They have a long list of demands for women that are not bringing much of anything to the table. Sometimes they bring nothing to the table. That's my question. What exactly do you women bring to the table? Since you're so demanding on your dating app profiles, the man must be tall, at least above 6 feet. Oh, he must be handsome. He must have all his hair. He must be in great shape. Go to the gym. He must be established. Ooh, that means money. He must be established. Someone that can, they actually say this, someone that can show me the finer things in life. Perhaps take me around the world. Hey, honey, have you looked in the mirror lately? The finer things in life take you around the world. Fine dining and fine wine. Are you 21 years old and look like a car show or a lingerie model or a swimsuit model? Have you won any beauty contests lately that you're so demanding? You want the finer things in life? Usually, like on Tinder, there's a pattern. It's younger generation women of color. I wouldn't even call them women. Females of color that say in the first sentence, I'm looking for a sugar daddy to spoil me and take care of me and show me the finer things in life, but no hookups. So my answer to them is, do you think rich older men got that way and stay that way from being stupid fools that they're going to spend all this money on you? They're going to entertain you. They are going to wine and dine you, and they expect nothing in return. Yeah, wine and dine. Women have an obsession with wine lately. Fine wine. Everything is wine this and wine that. I think whining is what they're experts at doing. So in their profile, they're talking about fine dining and fine wine. By the looks at many of these women that are post-war women, they have not missed too many meals. I guarantee you that. these women have not missed too many meals. So let's see what we're doing here. Any private chat? No. Okay, we just have the live chat. So let me just double check. Okay, yeah, we're doing good. So you have neoliberal politicians and neoliberals in the lying, corporate-controlled American mainstream media that are afraid to say no to any lobbying group. In this case, it's the man-hating lesbian feminist movement. Personally, even though I'm progressive, even though I am a huge fan of and a huge supporter of Bernie Sanders, even though I am a socialist, I flat out refuse to give special treatment to any lobbying group. I am not going to take a back seat to anyone. I am not going to the back of the line, and that's how it's going to be. Why? Because I am a Caucasian American male with no children, with no dependents. So, like the state employee, the career counselor for workforce here in Bergen County, New Jersey, told me many years ago. The person said, if I was a single mother, a single female of color with a child, then I qualify for all the above. Every single entrepreneurial program, every single job training program, I qualify for everything, lock, stock, and barrel. But because, heaven forbid, us unattached, single, white Caucasian males with no children, we pay taxes too, so we should have some rights. So I don't qualify for any of that. Sounds like a fair society. It sounds like fake, phony, hypocritical feminist equality. Like the same thing goes for the dating scene. They want equality when it comes to making money. Equal job for equal pay, right? They want that. But when it comes to the social life, when it comes to dating, they want the man to be a sucker. And they'll use words, like I said before, like chivalrous gentleman, provider, established. Unfortunately, many of these women have alligator arms. You know, alligator arms, short arms and deep pockets. That's right, short arms and deep pockets. And they are cheap fucks. I used to date years ago this Puerto Rican girl. Her first name is Deanna. I won't mention her last name. She was financially well off. She had a really good job with AT&T, executive position. And usually the person who does the inviting is supposed to pay in our society. So she invited me to dinner at this Spanish restaurant for paella. I think it was called El Cid. And we went. And what happened was, as soon as the check came, she quickly dashed into the ladies' room to hide, of course. It couldn't have been a coincidence that she had to use the ladies' room for legitimate medical purposes. She dashed into the ladies' room when the check came. And then when I said something another day about that, she says, well, all my male friends always pay. I go, why? Why, you think you're better than them? And she did not give me a straight answer. And I says, well, you know, the person who does the inviting is supposed to pay. Of course, she repeated herself. All my male friends always pay. You're a gentleman, gentleman, chivalrous, all that crap. That went out like over 100 years ago. You know, when the cost of living was super low and life was simple and girls were really sugar and spice and everything nice, instead of now being nothing but garbage and lice. Excuse me while I have my organic raw apple cider vinegar and filtered water with the zero filtration system in my lucky Tiki God cup. All right. You know, but that's how it is, you know, as long as men don't boycott them. If men continue to pursue them and shower them with gifts and flowers and tell them exactly what they want to hear and validate them, which is actually what they're doing. It's, if men refuse to boycott them and continue to validate them, then they will always have their power. I, as of now, so far, I cannot leave any comments under any videos in YouTube because I dare to have told the truth. I think it has to do with that young chick that is decided to make money on giving dating advice. The secrets of how to win with women, the 10 secrets, the 7 secrets. They will not give up their power. Believe me. Why should they give up their power? That's like a stock market genius that has a system that works every time, or a someone that has a system in the casino with gambling that where they have the ability to win hundreds of thousands of dollars every time they enter a casino, and then all of a sudden they want to sell their secret to you. Yeah, right. If you have that kind of ability to make that much money with minimal effort, are you really willing to share that secret with the public? No. You know, it's ludicrous. It's like the reason why you don't see faith healers on TV evangelist shows. You don't see them in hospitals really healing people for real. It's a bunch of bullshit. So these all these online dating and relationship coaches want to make a fast buck, and it's the same thing with the fitness industry. Now every Tom, Dick, and Harry is an exercise guru. They all have the secret. Meanwhile, the secret has been around for thousands of years. Progressive resistance is as old as time itself. Remember that very funny Planet Fitness commercial where this big guy with a German accent, he sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He says, I pick things up and I put them down. I pick things up and I put them down. I pick things up and I put them down. It's as simple as that. Life is not as complex as these people make it seem to be, because they're trying to sell something. They're trying to get you to part with your money. They're carnival snake oil hucksters. Don't believe them. But getting back, to the dating thing, these women are delusional. This fat slob with possibly young children actually thinks that she could lay down a list of demands for men, insisting that she wants all these things done for her. A man doesn't owe you anything. The only thing a man is obligated to do is die and pay taxes. A man does not have to take care of your little rugrats by another father. Go after the original father to take responsibility for his children. Don't try to put the burden on a man that you don't even know. I wasn't even angry. I was laughing. When I saw this fat woman, she looked a lot like John McCain's daughter on The View, but fatter. She was obese and she had like a long list of demands. It was a joke. It was a joke. I mean, even if she wasn't fat, I would still say, what do you bring to the table that you can be so demanding? Seriously, what can you bring to the table? And I got news for you. They enjoy sex just as much as we do. They moan, they scream, they holler. They're not better than us. It is the desperate, thirsty beta men that shower them with attention that give them the power that they have. And then, of course, the judicial system, once a woman gets a lawyer, if you're married to her, she'll take you to the cleaners, especially if she has a child that's not 18 years old yet. She can take you to the cleaners, to the poorhouse, and do what my sister does. She's living with somebody for 15 years, and the both of them are content and happy. There is no need to have a legal certificate to prove your love for someone. There's no need to get lawyers involved and get the government involved. No need at all. But let us backtrack to the original topic of corporate fascist censorship, the fascist stormtroopers of social media, where you can't even tell off some asshole internet troll in fear that that person might get offended. And I think the reason why all these pencil neck geek social media CEOs are so on edge about offending someone is because that's one less person that they will have to bombard with spam advertisement. They don't want to lose anybody. They're kissing ass. They're sycophants because the more people they can bombard with their spam, which is the evils of capitalism, the more people they can bombard, the greater their profit. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I can go into a couple annoyances that happened to me today, like the incompetence of City Hall's website, having the wrong free shuttle bus schedule up instead of having the updated one. But why bore you with little things? You already know that people that work for governments whether it be local government, state, county, whatever. You know that they hire incompetent people. So that's it. So I pretty much covered a lot. It's almost 1 hour, which I had no idea this much time actually flew by. And I should be doing another show about alternative fitness, in this case, the circular training world with Mr. Jeff Zambello. I don't know when I'm going to be doing it. He wants to do it over the weekend. So if that's the case, most likely it is going to be possibly Sunday. Possibly. I have to talk to him because if he wants to do this show, I like to make an appointment to do it. And I like to have it written in stone. As one thing I hate to do is change my mind and reschedule the spur of the moment. Once I have a bug in my head about doing something, I like to follow through. I'm very dedicated and punctual about things like that. But anyway, you take care, everyone. And let's see what we got going here. We'll give you a little